Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. All right, y'all, let's talk the main event, Bellator 259, Cris Cyborg versus Leslie Smith 2. I know a lot of people weren't really looking forward to this rematch. I mean, I, for one, I really wasn't, campaigning for this rematch. I know the one everybody wants to see is Cris Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes, too, which I'll talk about here in a minute towards the end of this video. But, yeah, man, Cris Cyborg, she chose to run it back with Leslie Smith, who she fought about 5 years ago, who she finished in, the first round of their first fight. Quick fashion the first time around. This time around, I feel like, Cris Cyborg was just giving Leslie Smith another chance, giving her a rematch. As Leslie Smith, she's been in Bellator for a few years now. She's fought her way up the rankings as well. I mean, everybody agrees that they feels like there could be some other good fights for Cris Cyborg. But, hey, I feel like right now that Cris Cyborg, she can pretty much pick whoever she wants to fight, and it will kind of be the same outcome. I feel like, nobody's really touched her level. I mean, this time around, Cris Cyborg, she took more of a different approach in this fight. She was a lot more patient, a lot more methodical, and that's something I've been seeing and I've been saying we've been seeing as Cris Cyborg evolved after the Amanda Nunes loss. I think she learned a lot from that fight. I myself always said that Cris Cyborg, she would fight too hard sometimes, and eventually there would be somebody that would just counter her or be able to nullify what she does. So now she's been taking more of a more patient, methodical approach, picking her shots, boxing more. And in this fight, she just kind of wanted to get more rounds in. She took an approach where she wanted to get more rounds in. I definitely have to give Leslie Smith a lot more credit here. She showed how tough she was to stay in there. She was able to do a little bit better with her movement, land a few strikes of her own. But I think that Cris Cyborg overall was just too strong, much too talented, too much for whether it be on the feet or on the ground. And I think she just wanted to get a few extra rounds in until eventually she closed the show in the very last round of the fight, scoring the 5th round stoppage over Leslie Smith. I mean, real quick, I'm not even gonna go back and look at it round by round. I feel like off top, Cris Cyborg, she was just cutting the octagon off nicely, fighting at a nice mid-range with her boxing, landing some nice body shots, good straight right hand to the body, good body kicks, and looking to counter off with Smith. Every time Smith would try to step in with anything, she would let off a good combination. Smith, I think, with this new patient Cris Cyborg, that gave her a time to where she should have jabbed more and looked to counter with her overhand right or just land the overhand right, because Cris Cyborg is looking to pick her apart. First round on, she just landed some hard combinations and she was able to drop Smith and dominate the ground in the first round. The strength difference was obvious again with Cris Cyborg just, doing whatever she wanted, getting that suplex in the first round. Most of the rounds, from 2, 3, 4 on, Cyborg was just really taking her time now, sitting back and just using the good leg kick to keep Leslie Smith at bay and doing whatever she wanted. Good stiff jabs up the middle, right hands just always landing to the body and to the head, just really making Smith respect her. And I was impressed with Smith's durability, I'm not going to lie. She was eating some hard body kicks and some headshots. Smith landed a few right hands of her own and a couple good stiff jabs, but not enough pop to do damage, and I think at this point she should have started to just really let go. Whatever was going to happen would happen. Just sit down on your shots and try to, like I said, put your body behind that overhand right like Amanda Nunes did and just try to land something big that way, because I think that I think it was like round 3 or round 4, that was probably like Smith's best work, where she did land a good jab and right hand a few times, but still Cyborg was still winning the round because she would come back with the stiffer, harder punches, and then she would cap it off with the takedown. She was always ready to strike and counter off of Smith's offense. Cyborg just really having her way on the ground in the boxing overall. By round 4, she pretty much landed like over 100 more strikes than Leslie Smith. The last round, Cyborg took it to the ground for a bit, went back to striking. Finally, with like 30 seconds, Cyborg drops Leslie Smith with a big right hand. I thought she was about out there, but she survived it. Cris Cyborg unloads the strikes and the referee stopped it. So overall, it was just the evolution of Cris Cyborg, just wanting to be more of a patient, methodical fighter as she gets older. Not power dependent. Though the power is there, she can always let it go. She was just trying to be more of a calculated fighter, be more of a boxer. At the same time, I'm thinking that she's kind of working on that boxing to kind of just to try to get these rounds in, because I can smell a transition to boxing, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But overall, Cris Cyborg in this fight did what she was supposed to do against Leslie Smith, just outgun her, on the feet, on the ground, and control it. Like I said, Leslie Smith, she tried. I feel like she should have just went for the home run went for the home run a few times because that's all she could have really depended on, because she couldn't get the respect of Cris Cyborg, even with her head kicks. You know, she was just getting countered all day and outgunned on the ground as well. I mean, Leslie Smith did some good ground work as far as escaping, like, and you know, keeping herself out of submission attempts from Cris Cyborg. You know, but yeah, overall, just a dominant performance by Cris Cyborg. Anybody who felt like Leslie Smith won the fight, I don't know what y'all are talking about. You know, I think, you know, there's some people saying that, you know, even like on some online chats. You know, I was just looking at some different streams talking about the fight. Man, some people thought Leslie Smith won just because it went 5 rounds, but I'm like, come on, man, Cris Cyborg was just fighting a good, patient fight. In my opinion, sometimes was carrying Leslie just a little bit. But yeah, from here, Cris Cyborg, I would like to see her in the fight with Cat Zingano. If that fight happens, she called for that fight. She said, yo, Cat, if Cat wants it, you know, come on, let's make it happen. You know, and it's crazy when the champion calls out the contenders, man. I feel like Cat should have said this. If Cat would have said it and now Cris would have said it, it would have been more of a go. It would be more of a go, you know. But yeah, shout out to Leslie Smith. Got to give her a lot of credit. She's one of my favorite fighters, you know, of WMMA. Start going way back to the beginning that got me into WMMA. I still think she's a solid contender for the rest of the featherweights, but you know, the Cris Cyborg, that's just a different level. It's just a different level from here. But yeah, like I was saying with Cris Cyborg, from here, what I've seen from the way she was sitting back, picking her shots, you know, throwing and turning over her punches, her straight right hands to the body and mixing it up with the jabs, good combinations. I'm thinking that she's really working on the boxing in this fight, because she's really looking to transition into boxing pretty soon. Either take 1 or 2 fights or what. I can tell that she's looking for that Katie Taylor fight off of what I've seen with this performance. You know, fighting very patient. I could tell even the way she would kind of roll with some shots where she would drop her left hand a little bit. She was looking for to get some boxing rounds in. You know, that's my opinion, which I'll probably talk about in another video about Cris Cyborg transitioning into boxing. But yeah, from here, if she was, I could see her giving Katie Taylor a tough fight, because that was one of the fights that was talked about, Cyborg versus Taylor, man. Like, I think Cris Cyborg has the patience and the strength to go how many ever rounds with Katie Taylor. You know, you got to remember, Cris Cyborg is used to fighting 5-minute rounds. In the octagon, you go over to boxing, it might favor Cris Cyborg a little bit more. You know, these are 10 2-minute rounds, you know, 10 2-minute rounds. So hey, that's only 20 minutes of a fight for her, you know, instead of 25. And I can see Cris Cyborg, you know, letting her hands go and doing some damage in a Katie Taylor fight, because Katie Taylor's never faced anybody with this type of power on the real. You know, she's faced some rough, rugged animals in there like Delphine Persoon, but nobody like Cris Cyborg when it comes to stiff punches like this, you know. So Cris was working on that boxing, I could tell. But y'all, let me know in the comment section what y'all thought of this fight. Did y'all want to see it? What do y'all think of the people that felt Leslie Smith won? No way. What do y'all think about Cris Cyborg transitioning into boxing? Do y'all see it happening? Will she fare well against somebody like Katie Taylor? Let me know, guys. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.